In Zambia and other African countries, we hear a lot about the AIDS crisis and the people dying there. But what we don't hear much about are the children that are left behind. Sometimes a grandparent or an aunt or uncle can help. But when all of the adults in a family have died of AIDS, the children often end up living on the streets. These children are called street kids. They're kids just like you, but they have no homes, and most of them have no parents. In fact, 1 in 5 children in Zambia is an orphan. The disease AIDS has taken away their parents' lives and their normal way of life. They sleep on the streets where it's dirty and dangerous. And with no one to protect them, they're especially vulnerable to physical and mental abuse.
You know, you get the police also harassing the kids when they find them sleeping in some places, and sometimes they beat them up quite badly. And then, of course, with the little girls, there's always a danger that they'll be raped. Sometimes the children are so frightened of maybe people harassing them at night, they have to sleep in the branches and the trees.
They eat only when they can find food. Some kids have survived on their own for years. Children who live on the streets do not have the money to pay for school fees or uniforms. Many people don't want the street kids in schools because they're afraid of them and look down on them because their parents died of AIDS. Many kids can't go to school because they have to work or beg to survive. Many kids end up on the streets because they're hungry, sick, or depressed and can't concentrate in class. They watch their parents become sick and die. Life on the streets is dangerous and violent, and they're more likely to get AIDS. In many ways, they're forced to grow up in order to survive. But they're also young and innocent. They're kids just like you.
I realized from having to work with the children, I was sitting on a time bomb. For me, children are the future. And if we don't look after our future, you know, when this country cannot look after its children or bury its children when they die, then I think we're really in trouble.
In Lusaka, the capital of Zambia, a few people opened a shelter called the Fountain of Hope. It is a place where street kids can go to eat, learn, and be safe. The Fountain of Hope has a small library filled with books from England and the United States. Here, the kids escape the harsh life of the streets and can learn about the world. They love to read books, and they take good care of their library. And they especially want to learn English, which is the official language of Zambia, because they know that English is a way off the streets. The library offers street kids who are not in school a place to study for the high school entrance exam. If they pass, they can go to high school and have a chance for a better life. This library has dramatically changed the lives and future prospects of many street kids in Lusaka. Armed with proof that a library can make a difference, the Lubuto Project was founded to build more libraries for orphans and street kids in Zambia and other African countries. The Lubuto libraries, filled with books that you donate, give these children hope for a better future.
The thing that's extraordinary about this project is it really gives people a tangible way to be involved. Last year, I started getting kids from my grade involved to come volunteer on Sundays sorting books. There was such a large interest that this year I started a Lubuto club at my school. We organized a book drive, and that was just really fantastic because it got the whole school involved in such a big way. And I was worried at first that people would just toss us their old school textbooks, but people really took a really big interest.
We thought about how hard life was for street kids in Africa, so we decided to do something to help them.
A Lubuto library holds about 10,000 books.
Our goal is to give those kids excellent libraries, so we only really want the best books.
We are asking you and your families to donate all kinds of books so we can make a complete library.
Think about the ways that books can help bring hope into the world.
We live in a global village. What affects one does affect another. Maybe not directly today, but indirectly in many ways. I do believe that whatever we can do as a people to help other people helps us, makes us all better, so that we can all have a better future and enjoy the fruits of our societies.
The Lubuto Project is not like any other project that exists. It is not a book donation program. Book donation programs get together books and send them to schools in Africa and other parts of the world. But the children that we are reaching are mostly out of schools. Because they're not able to be in school, they know that there's no hope for their future. There's nothing they can do without getting an education. I heard one child say at one time, without an education, you are nowhere, you are nothing. There's no place to go in life. So our program is actually sending complete libraries, already organized, and creating new institutions so that these children will have a place to go. The little library that we started by accident in a shipping container in Zambia has just been overwhelmed. There are hundreds of kids coming, they want to get in and they want to read the books. This is the basic design of a Lubuto library. It's 3 structures that are based on traditional architectural styles found in Zambia, which is the country where we're building our first Lubuto libraries. There is absolutely no need whatsoever to convince these kids that this would be valuable to them. They just know it. When I used to read in Zambia, after 2 hours of reading books, they were still begging for more.
There's nowhere you can go if you don't know how you don't know how to read, and you can't get a job.
She got married to the prince here. It gives me hope that you can also live a successful life.
These kids, these street kids, are just the same as we are. It's so important for these kids to have something in their lives. I mean, to have something that brings them hope, something that brings them an escape from how hard their lives are, and just, it's something that they need just the same as we do.
The Lubuto Library Project was born in Zambia, inspired by the dramatic success of the Fountain of Hope Library in Lusaka. When Jane Myers built that library as a volunteer in 2001, she was fulfilling a direct need. The success and interest of the kids who used that library led her to found the Lubuto Project to build more libraries for street kids all over Africa. The word Lubuto means enlightenment, knowledge, and light. Lubuto libraries will shine a beacon of hope and learning to children whose futures have been darkened by AIDS.
Charity